All right, good morning, guys. We're going to be continuing to solve these quadratic equations by factoring. All right, and they are equations, so these are both going to be set equal to 0. All right, that's very important that they have to be set equal to 0 before we start solving. Both of these are set equal to 0, so we're good to go. All right, so if we're solving it by factoring, we're going to use the method that we discovered last week, or that we reviewed last week, is the factoring. All right, so on this first problem, I'm going to multiply the first times the last, which is going to give us 30. So numbers that multiply to be 30 are 1 and 30, 2 and 15, 3 and 10, and last but not least, 5 and 6. And 5 and 6 right here are going to be the ones that are going to combine to give us this -1 in the middle. The way they're going to give us a -1 is by having a +5 and a -6. So I can rewrite this as x squared plus 5x minus 6x minus 30, and that still equals 0. All right, so solving by grouping, we draw the line down the middle. X squared and 5x both have an x in common, so I can factor out an x, which is going to leave x plus 5. On the second side here, -6x and -30. Whenever I combine those, they have a -6 in common, so -6 here, which again leaves x plus 5. So I've got x minus 6 times x plus 5 equals 0. So like what we learned yesterday, I can set both of these parentheses equal to 0. So I can say x minus 6 equals 0, x plus 5 equals 0. So if I add 6 to both sides on this equation, that gives us x equals a +6, running out of room here. And then on this side, if I subtract 5, I've got x equals a -5. And those are my two solutions to the problem. X equals 6 and x equals -5. All right, doing the same thing on this next problem. We're going to start by factoring because we are able to factor this problem. So we're looking for factors of 15. 1 times -15 is 15. So we got 1 times 15 and 3 times 5. That's it. Okay, 3 and 5 are going to give us this +2 in the middle. So I got x squared. It's going to be plus 5x minus 2x minus 15 equals 0. Factor by grouping. Or factor by grouping, line goes down the middle. On this first side, they've got an x in common, so I factor out the x. That leaves x plus 5. All right. On the second side, I've got, excuse me, I meant to put this as a 3. It's supposed to be a 3, my bad. All right, so I factor out a -3, so I got -3. Once again, that's going to leave x plus 5 equals 0. So when we combine it, that gives us x minus 3 times x plus 5 equals 0. So whenever I set both of these parentheses equal to 0, x minus 3 equals 0, x plus 5 equals 0, we can say, okay, I need to add 3 here. That's going to give us x equals 3. There's one solution. And then on this side here, if I subtract 5, x equals a -5. There's our second solution. All right, so once again, you will have two problems today that are doing the exact same thing that is represented in this problem, or in this video here. This being number 1, this being number 2. Be sure you notice that those are two different problems. All right, so if you have any questions, please let me know. Miss you guys. Have a great day.